and makes the United States look even worse on an international level. So we think that Craig can no longer function as a viable law enforcement chief here in the city of Detroit. Neither can the current administration as well. We don't need federal agents in Detroit. We need federal assistance for food, for housing, for water, for education. That is the real crisis that we're facing right now. It's not a security crisis, it's a social crisis. So we're here to express our support for all the youth who have been out in the streets in Detroit and throughout the entire United States. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Darryl Jordan. I'm co-director of the East Michigan Environmental Action Council, Cass Commons. We are located at 4605 Cass Avenue. I'm not glad to be here, but I need to be here today. You know, there are lots of things that are happening around the country, and people thinking right now that Detroit, because we're a majority black city, that we're living a different life than a whole lot of other places. But right now in Detroit, you cannot believe the kind of stress and the kind of that's being put on our communities by the police department. It's not just Detroit will breathe, because they're out there doing the work that they need to do. Be out there every day to let folks know that we can't let police brutality and the killing of our people continue nowhere. But this is bigger than that, just that. You know, just a little while ago, we had 4 people shot, 3 people dead in 2.5 weeks. You know, that's not right. There's a different way to do policing. Policing is supposed to be about working with the community so that we have safe communities. Not about beating us into shape so that it looks like we had to do what the police say we need to do, even if we shouldn't be doing that. We have a constitutional right, even though we live in a country where black folks and the Constitution don't necessarily get used like it should be, but we have a constitutional right to come out here and protest injustices. And so we don't need the FBI, we don't need none of those federal folks. We just need a police department that comes from our community and knows our community. Some of y'all are a lot young, and I like that. But some of us are old enough to remember the big fight when Coleman Young said that police departments should be people who live in Detroit. They carried him all the way to the Supreme Court to win that, you know. And after that, we found out that a whole lot of the police that were supposed to be living in Detroit right then, they were already living in the suburbs. Back in the old days, I used to live over there on Lodwick, going close to Grosse Pointe, and there was a house behind me. It was like a gang house, but it wasn't a gang house. That was where policemen used to come and take their naps during the day, because they were using fake Detroit addresses. I don't mean to be getting off the subject today, but this is bigger than just the police department, and we need to get somebody in the police department that want to really work with the community to make sure that we got safe communities. Want to make sure that we're not beating up and bullying the people in our community who are just trying to stand up and say, we want to live in a city where black people are self-determined and where the Constitution actually applies to us too. And so I don't want to use too much time, but it's time. All the brothers and sisters out there, think about it. You know, people who are suspects of crime don't supposed to get the death penalty in the street. People who are out here just exercising their constitutional right don't supposed to get beat up, gassed, and just pushed all around. You know, that ain't right. That ain't what it's supposed to be. And so, in the name of the people who really care in Detroit, in the name of the people who are just hoping for better, we all need to rise up and do what we need to do to make sure that we got a police department that acts like they live in Detroit, even if the majority of them don't live here. And we need to be talking about reform, but not that reform stuff I heard on the news this morning. Sometimes you news reporters need to talk more about what they're actually talking about. When we're talking about reforming the police, we need to talk about figuring out how the amount of money that they get goes to certain things. The police in Detroit are just like the U.S. military. They just dump lots of toys and lots of money on them and let them do any damn thing they want to. We can't allow that. You know, it's time to stand up and say, look, Chief Craig got to go, and we need a police department that's responsible to and responsive to the community. My name is Darryl Jordan. I'm from the East Michigan Environmental Action Council, and for some of y'all that are trying to figure out what does this got to do with the environment, this has everything to do with the environment. The environment of Detroit is a deadly one and a bad one for black folks and other people of color. And any of our white allies that want to get out there and support real change, it ain't good for you either. So all right, y'all, rise up.